I assume you got everybody who's here and who's not. Consent agenda. Were there any further additions or corrections to the minutes?
Yes.
Okay.
In paragraph 3 of the minutes, they
This
said
paragraph, Ed?
paragraph 3 of the minutes,
Okay.
they said there was an additional $500 in the admissions account. It should not be admissions, it was in the use upon account. So I would delete admissions and insert use upon. Use upon got a $500 contribution from somebody that went into the bank account.
One of my political accounts that I do, instead of charge, it's a nonprofit, so I just tell them to donate the money instead of paying me. Because they give me such a hard time, they're nonprofit, so. It's hard to explain.
Did you get that one correction?
Yeah, that's the only thing I had. Other than that, I'm in favor of adopting the minutes as written.
Anybody opposed? We got to do a second, but I will assume adopted as revised. Okay. Financials.
Yeah, I've sent everybody a copy of the financials, and it was pretty vanilla. We had a net loss of a little more than $360 for the year. We ended the year with a little more than $9,000 in the admissions reserve and an equity of a little more than $5,600,000.
I'd like it to be million.
I'm sorry. I misplaced a decimal point. It was
How about 3 zeros?
5,600.
I know Ed's used to those financial statements where they admit the first 3 zeros, but
Yeah.
we do not.
So during 2021, there have been no transactions.
Shocking. Okay. Any questions for Ed?
Nope, thank you.
Ann, what can you tell us about what's going on in admissions and what we can do?
I think most of you hopefully have seen the update in the agenda that I provided to Larry. I would say just a couple updates. In there it says that we've had 2 offers of admissions for the class of 2025, I believe 2025. And to date, one of those has declined their offer, and the other one has not yet made a decision. We are expecting 2 more offers for certain, fairly certain. One to Brianna Bolton, who's in the prep school. She's doing very well. She's got her nominations. I don't anticipate a problem with Brianna being offered admission. And then the other one is Peyton Dobbs, who is our former cadet on an LDS mission in Taiwan. He would come back to join the class of 2023. He's working a medical waiver. Right now it looks pretty good. Other than that, there's no barriers to his readmission. So I do expect we'll get those last 2. And then hopefully the one that did get the offer will accept. I don't know. Both of those were high-speed candidates from Bishop Minogue. They're going to have lots of opportunities. And
both Bishop Minogue?
Both were Bishop Minogue. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Bishop Minogue is a great source of good candidates.
Yeah, they really are.
So is Reno High School.
Yes.
Yes. Well, that's right.
We got a lot from Reno.
Yeah. And I think my update says we had 7 for new applications for the class of 2026. We are up to 9 at this point. And I'm trying to get flyers out to school counselors to say that the application period is open. Those high school juniors right now have until the 15th of March to apply for the summer leader experience. And then all will be notified on the 1st of April if they are accepted for the summer leader experience. So it used to be kind of a free-flowing offers to SLE, and now they've set a date and they're going to let everybody know at the same time. Right now they're planning to hold SLE in some form or fashion. They really don't know what it's going to look like at this point. It's just too early to tell. But right now they are planning the 2 week-long sessions. I think one at the very end of May into June, and then the next one the week after that.
Is one of them Leo Ketchum by any chance? Do you know?
No, that name's not familiar at all, Bill. So if you know somebody that wants to apply, now's the time.
Okay.
Especially if they want to do SLE.
Yeah,
they can continue to open applications, for a while. But and then they are going to do a virtual AIM event, the Academy Information Meeting. And that's going to be statewide for Nevada. And Captain Brad Davis, who's the Far West Regional Commander, is going to host that. We don't have a firm date, but once we do, I'll make sure to let all the board members know. And it's meant for all high schoolers. We like to get the sophomores and the freshmen in to generate interest early, but certainly the juniors are more than welcome as well. So as soon as we know a date, we'll let you know.
Okay. Yeah, I can see you made a note down there that they have just recently gone back to their offices from doing stuff virtually.
Yeah, I think they've been back for a little bit now, and they as well have had the hiccups of kind of going back home and coming back in. But they seem to be full-time, all of them, and back into the offices now, but the travel is still extremely limited.
Okay. Anybody have questions for Ann or issues on admissions? Other academies? I see Steve and Dr. Brad there.
Nothing to add. I haven't followed the admissions at all for Navy, and so I don't have a good feel for how they're doing.
I did speak with someone, Steve. I mean, we were down probably about 25% over the last year, and I heard Navy was down as well. I think the word is just not getting out there as much as it has been in the past.
Yeah, have you come across Joe Holland at all? He's supposedly the new area coordinator for the state of Nevada, and he lives in Reno.
Oh, no, I haven't come across him. I came across one of the blue and gold officers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were going to say something, Brad. You lit up, so.
Oh.
No. You could put a virtual halo around yourself or something. That would be okay. See no cats. Bill, any update on USAPON?
The only thing we have planned right now is some questions. Is we'll do the yard signs again this year. COVID, is restrictive, and I've got to work on the website more. I should have some more time. I'm not supposed to be skiing so much. But I've been really busy with the digital world because of the COVID business. It's really taken off. I ski, and so I need to work on that site. It's by the way, the only site I've ever had a break in, and I've got more than about over 100 sites that we've worked with, is the USAPON site. And I shut it down immediately when I got the notice. But it's funny that got broken into and attacked.
It did?
Yep. Now it happened last few months ago. And I track where the IP addresses come from, and it was Russia and Europe. Thought that was strange.
Pesky time on their hands.
So I just destroyed that entire site because I want to clean out all the code and everything. But I've never had that happen before. I saw it was strange. And I've got pretty good security stuff on. So
interesting.
And we take money on that site so that's why I shut it down. But I'll get it back up. Anyway, quick question. We didn't do a picnic, but we did the front yard thing with just if anybody has some ideas of what to do for the cadets coming back in. It's been very difficult. Gary's coming back in there. It's been very difficult to get the cadets all on the same bandwidth because the
Don't know how long I'll be, but hello again.
yeah, We got you. Are you Comcast by any chance?
I changed browsers. That may have something to do with it.
At Google. But anyway, going back, just if anybody wants to volunteer their house or home for a picnic of some sort, we didn't do it. We just had little cakes and drinks because of COVID, and we did it in my front yard, all spread out. But I'd like to do something, and I don't know. I just want to do something. For any ideas what we can do for the cadets and midshipmen, other than signs?
I think it's like all things right now, it's so hard to plan on where we'll be. I got a feeling in June we should be relatively back to semi-normal, I call it.
Hard to explain. May 22nd is graduation for West Point, 95 and about days, I think.
Yeah. We could do it parks. We could see if somebody wants to do it at their house. I guess we need to know kind of what a rough number is, what's going to be the deadline roughly, and it's going to be mid-March, and we'll
I say the focus should be around the cadets leaving, and then
Right.
we can grab anybody else, so.
But when we have a pretty good idea of who is leaving, i.e.,
Who's going?
at 9, but
I think, by the 1st of April, most of the offers will be out there. It's always possible to get one or two more after that, but certainly by the 1st of April, we should have a pretty good feeling.
May, they open them up May. Kaylee got 2 appointments after May
Right.
1st.
She did, but that's unusual.
Yeah.
The most are going to
Absolutely.
have it by mid to late April.
West Point beat Coast Guard by 2 days, and I think that's why she ended up at West Point. Or no, because of the scholarship. She got into it because she got that scholarship from the Association.
Yeah,
of
she had the prep school, the civil prep school.
By the way, she's in the top 300 of her class.
Very nice.
So
Good.
I think that's good for somebody who got an alternate for high school, I guess.
do you want to propose a tentative date, and then we'll try to figure out location as we see what's going on?
Well, when do they start? We got to find out when they start.
Our day probably end of June. So usually 24 or later. That's what we've been seeing, 22, 24. So I would say you want to do it 15 June or
Yeah,
before.
2 to 3 weeks out from when they report it.
Yeah.
That's because they started leaving about 2 weeks out to go back to family, a couple of them.
Right.
I'm just saying the calendar. You have the weekend of June 12th, 13th, June 19th, 20th.
See, that could be late, the 1920. I would go before that. Just, if we're going to set something, I'd set it earlier.
Yeah.
And then the high school graduations of people graduating.
Yeah, we got to do it a week. We got to do it after graduation.
And most of those are late May, early June.
It seemed we had a good turnout last year on the front lawn here. We only had a couple that didn't show up from all the academies.
I think you'll do a little better this year because COVID is less of a problem.
And I think the signs are nice. We'll keep the signs going.
Yeah.
Now, if I can just get Joanna to make them.
Schedule. Let's see what we have.
She made them.
21 schedules have been scheduled. Here we go. Let me just look them. I just jumped on to see what I can see for graduation schedules. Oh, crap.
And I sort of like the idea. I like the idea of the dessert and drinks and handing out the signs and then invite any classmate, other cadets that are around for the summer.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we need to do full blown food. It's nice signs and put the signs out. They get to put the signs out. The family.
Washoe.
Just dessert.
County.
The other thing to think, any other events during the year for the new cadets and midshipmen, and then the other cadets and midshipmen. Christmas is always tough time to schedule. I know.
Yeah. Well, it's because we don't know exactly what's going to be going down here. So
anyway, we'll focus at the picnic. We'll just dessert and drinks and signs somewhere.
Yeah. It was nice. It was good to do something, Bill, versus nothing last year.
It was easy to do. It was easy.
Yeah. Since I can't seem to call it up real fast, I think something maybe then is it a weekend or a Friday more
Either Friday afternoon or Saturday afternoon, usually.
I would say the 11th or the 12th of June then.
Let's tentatively do that. That's a good idea. We'll set that right now.
Yeah.
Tentative, we can tighten it up.
And then once we know the number, then we can go back just so we have something on calendar and can plan that.
Yep, I'll put that rough out. That's good. And I think the graduations are all done by then.
Typically they would be. I just didn't know from if they were going to delay it. That's why I was trying to get on, but I couldn't find it easily on the Washoe County site. But
They delay it. They probably won't delay graduation. They only delay it like 2 or 3 days because of snow.
well, and people have to get their stuff for universities, final transcripts and everything else. So it really pushes it hard to make the seniors wait that much longer, which they kind of did last year. They had the graduation. There were some that went on after graduation, the dates. Okay. Brings us back to our other big thing, Founders Day. I don't have a lot to really provide update. I know the Academy's doing the AOG is doing a virtual on the 16th of March. We can sign up as a society to do. Clearly with the restrictions and I would say health protocols, I would not advocate doing anything in person this year still. So do we join in with that? Do we try to hold something that's separate? I'm a bit indifferent either way, frankly. I mean, the AOG one is simple. We sign up, we join. We're one amongst, I'm sure, many, many societies are doing that. But thoughts?
Just want to tell you I'm back without video.
That's good. We're in the bin.
It's the only way I could get back is turn the video off.
Yeah, stay off video. So one thing what we could do is, I know a few people back there, I'm sure we all do, we could maybe get a guest speaker and do our own in-house Zoom. And I don't know if we can, but we might be able to get more people to come on the Zoom. I can handle 100 people on here.
I personally not interested in doing a Zoom.
I mean, if you want, some associations are doing Zoom. I saw that. You get a guest speaker. You invite the new cadets. The cadets could come on. If the cadets from the academy, I get my daughters on maybe. I mean, that way you could reach back in the academy too if it's not too late. That's a thought.
See everybody jumping in on this. I'm a bit with Ann. I have done some of the virtual and I find them to be less than satisfying. Let's just say that. The one, again, the AOG is doing theirs on the 16th of March. Doesn't preclude us from doing some other type of follow-up social event if we wanted to do it. But I think somebody wants to take the ball and run with it differently. I don't know how many we could get on it if we tried to do ours independently, how many we would get anyway.
I mean, it'd be an exercise in trying to find people.
Mm-hmm.
Otto.
If we do the virtual, do we get credit for Distinguished Society? In other words, if we participate in virtual with everybody else.
I think you do, but I can't remember the specifics.
Yeah, I think I agree with Bill. I think there was something that said, it is what it is this year. I think is acceptable to them.
Yeah, I think either our own or we join theirs. I think that's the only two options. I can't imagine them being draconian some other way. The average age of our grads are in those zones of vulnerability.
I think we could open up the AOG's sponsored one to anybody that wants to attend. I mean, send an email to as many people. If we have
We'll take care of the registration via Sallyport and send it out. We just got to touch base with them. To me, that seems like the most efficient way this time, just given what's going on. and the amount of work. I mean, Bill, totally respect. You got a work schedule. I've got, people have got work schedules. Setting something like that up, it seems that we can piggyback off of AOG's work. They're going to assist us in doing that, and we're not the only society in that mix. Simply kind of makes sense to me.
I agree.
It seems like there really isn't much of a better choice you could make. One would assume they're going to try to do a worthwhile job celebrating Founders Day, and they have access to people that some people would like to listen to, I guess. I think perhaps more than anything we could come up with at this stage, especially if we're going to try to do it on a virtual basis. To me, that's not likely to be very attractive to very many people.
Yeah, I don't know how many from our area will sign up, but they may do this if they see it's a academy wide and they have some speakers and updates. It seems like the thing that they might do.
And I'd be happy to offer that to the candidates, that are out there. Sometimes it is good for them to see a little bit of traditions and history. And I'm sure there's going to be a taped or live speech by the soup and whoever else is out there. So
we watched a lot of stuff. They had 500 night this week. It was live. Very good. Very well done.
From a financial standpoint, I assume that the virtual Founders Day will be free.
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
I think that's a very good point by our counselor of the Exchequer, and I would agree. They didn't indicate anything about being cost. I'll follow up with AOG this afternoon and then send everybody an update of what they are doing. And then
you have to provide your own drinks for Benny Haven's hour.
It's probably on you all. Favorite drinks and libations. Okay. That takes care of that issue. That's fine for Bright. Any updates on websites or anything else, Bill, you want to give us?
Just in the chat, go ahead and everybody just click that. That's a hidden link, that members link. Just click that. It's kind of nice to have. So you can all see it's a hidden link. No, you just can't see it downloaded. Did it work?
I just clicked it to see if it'll go.
I'll click it to see if it works too. Yeah, it does. You need to download the link. It's an Excel spreadsheet. And then the other one I just stuck in there was the, which doesn't seem to be working. The top one worked, but the West Point one link worked there. That's the Founders Day information. Post that. So they're doing a really good job on live streaming YouTube. West Point is really good job.
Yeah, I've seen a number of those.
Really good. So.
Get that. All right. Breitbart. Any update on kind of John Sass or anybody else in the society, Larry or whoever else wants to chime in?
John's doing okay. I really do not understand why she thinks he's not with you. When we go over there, he's totally recognizes Barbara and me, and he joins in the conversation and seems to know what the conversation is about and participates in it.
Okay. Well, if there's something we can do, I appreciate everybody who's reaching out and stuff. I haven't heard from anybody else reach out or any issues from any other recent grads. So if anybody does, again, we're kind of here and we can do what we can to assist. Somebody makes a request, and I think that's time marches on a little bit. Steve, how's Cheryl doing, Steve?
Oh, thanks for asking, Tim. Excellent. All thumbs up. And this this ongoing Avastin treatment seems to be maintaining. So quite the experience, as you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And Claudia, got to ask.
Yeah, doing well.
Good.
Doing well. As we stay in our little bubble, kind of, so to speak.
Right.
So, what are we going to do?
Thanks for asking.
Okay. Yeah, please send our best regards from everybody here for her.
Thank you.
Sally Point program. We scheduling annual meeting or picnic. We've not picked a date. Do we want to tentatively set one in August, and then we'll figure out location? Just as a hold the date kind of issue. I don't know what they're going to do for the leaders conference this year. I assume August. Hard to tell whether they're going to be virtual or not, unless you heard something, Ann. Or
No, I haven't heard anything. Last year was virtual. I think New York seems to be trying to reopen to some degree. So by August, I think if they can successfully open for SLE, they'll consider the leaders conference as well.
I did it virtually last year. You did too, didn't you, Ann?
I was there for part of it.
It was really short. It was like one day, and that was it.
Yeah, and then they did breakout sessions that didn't really work.
Yeah,
I think they had some growing pains.
I've attended a couple sessions with the parents through West Point and the parents, which they're okay. They're okay.
with the school, I think school is back on the 23rd. I would say either Friday. We've always traditionally kind of done it on a Saturday, the 21st of August or the 28th of August. Those are 2 Saturdays. Labor Day, the 6th.
I'm planning to be out of town on the 28th of August. So I'd like to go a little earlier, probably. That way I can assist with candidates.
Okay. Do you want to go ahead then and let's tentatively set the 21st of August as a whole date, location to be announced?
Anybody know when school starts at West Point? I should know that, but I don't. Class starts.
I have no idea. I don't have that.
Because you might have a few cadets around if you do it, before they go back to school.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But you probably will. I got a couple out there.
Yeah. 21 August might be late for that then. I mean,
It'd be nice to do it when they're still in town and maybe get a couple at the picnic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the only thing, we always used to drive it off of usually the week after or the 2 weeks after the leaders conference, so we can give the most recent update from that.
Yeah.
Typically, that's somewhere between the 10th to the 16th. Ed, do you have any idea? Because you have your finance committee, which usually
Yeah.
to that.
Well, I'm looking at my calendar, and on Thursday, the 12th of August is when we have our finance committee meeting. So the way I have it structured is that just before the date of the meeting, I have at least one day blocked out for traveling to West Point.
Mm-hmm.
Because the finance committee meeting starts at 7:30 a.m.
Well, and generally that precedes right before that Friday weekend. So that's going to tell me roughly the 13th, 14th is going to be the leaders conference. So we need to have to, I think, look at the first then of doing it that if we want to do it after that conference, which to me makes the most sense. And so we won't have any cadets, but rarely have we ever had any cadets at our annual meeting. We had the SLE, returning SLE folks give us a brief on what they do, what they say. What I think has always been a very powerful thing. We've done very well at recruiting those, then subsequent on applications. Unless there's really objection, let's go ahead and set it, our annual meeting for August 21st. Larry, and we'll keep that on our calendar and then place to be designated on where we will do that. That is the last kind of on our formal side. Anybody have anything for the good of the board or questions or issues or?
Have we come up with a date for the second quarter meeting?
That'd be good. We try to do it ahead of time. We could do it now, maybe. Try to do
Sure.
it roughly.
That's March, April, May.
Early May.
May is better for me than April.
No problem with May. Generally prefer a Tuesday or a Tuesday, Wednesday. If you want to look at May. So doing, hey, May 4th?
Which day?
May 4th?
Nope, sounds good. Tentatively.
That's fine with me.
And tentatively, let's see if we may be able to do that one in person.
Ooh.
Gus, members of our board may be vaccinated, except for probably me. And that assumes my office is open again by then, which maybe. I think by May 1st, probably we will.
Yeah.
Unless there's a big reoccurrence, and then we can just shift over and do it virtually.
You know what you could do? You could do it both. You could do it.
Do a combination.
All you have
of
to do
both.
is set up a laptop and let people log in.
Yeah, we got the monitors in
around the
office.
table. I've got some microphones too, different.
From my standpoint, if I happen to be on the East Coast,
You could do that.
I can do it, by Zoom.
And you can talk, you can hear them. It works. I've done it a few times.
Yeah. Okay. And the only thing I noticed when you do those combinations, you gotta have a master control for everybody.
Larry.
You can mute. Kind of like Larry now on the phone, you know.
We can mute them.
No, just a minute. Hey, Bill, Jerry Gibbs is on saying.
Oh yeah, I got him. He's back. I wasn't paying. He's back. Jerry's got a bad connection. Sorry, Jerry.
Yeah, I have been on those events where you don't have somebody in the master control of being able to mute everybody or mute stuff.
I can mute everybody if you want to. I just didn't do it. I just muted Larry though.
No, I got it. But there are many people that host them that they don't do that.
Yeah, we can mute.
It ends up being a madhouse of what's going on.
Yeah, we're pretty good.
So, all right. Well, that's set. Anything else that you would like to raise or go over that we haven't talked about?
Just one thing later on. This is on the license plate, which is on page 3. Paragraph 7B. The sole purpose of publicizing getting a USMA license plate is getting 1 point for distinguished society. We get the 1 point not by the number of people we sign up, but merely by publicizing. So I just need to figure out how to get it on the website, and we can say by having it on the website, we're publicizing.
Should I take a shot of my USMA?
Just send a picture. Just text a picture to me, and I'll flip it right up on the website.
Okay, I'll send you an email.
Just email or text. Everybody's got one. Just flip it up.
I don't have a text, so it's got to be an email.
All right, Bill. I'll take a shot.
And your permission.
Send it to you.
You have permission to post it. There's some really weird rule about license plates. You can't take pictures of license plates without permission. It's really weird. There's some general guidelines. It's really weird. I don't know why.
You know, when I went to DMV, I wanted to do USMA 61, and they said you can't do that anymore because we won't allow anything that starts with a U. So the only way I could do it was 61 USMA.
That's good.
You know why? Because the Eagle plate starts US.
Oh.
And see, that's what I got. I have the Eagle plate, so it's USMA.
Oh,
which is part of that special brand of plate. But
interesting.
I could have put 84, but I figured I'd trump everybody else on getting USMA first. just in case. Good. All right. Anything else, anyone?
I've got a complete side note. There's a new ROTC captain coming in who's a West Point grad. I think he's 2013. And he's going to Reno, UNR. Yeah.
So he's
The only reason I found out is because he contacted my wife. And
So as part of the PMI up there or something?
yeah, which is nice. He's 10th Mountain right now. So it's nice to see.
Good.
Seems like a nice guy. He's married.
Always nice, yeah, because we usually pick up the youngest ones that they're either teaching up there or they're recruiting command. We get them come through every now and again. Mm-hmm. That'll show up. And there was another newer one too that Anne from the Bay Area West Point Society gave me a heads up if somebody had moved in. I don't know if you'd seen her yet.
No.
That notice.
Yeah,
that she had sent. I'll send it.
Yeah, forward it to me and I'll try and touch base.
Yeah. I think it's a male grad, Anne.
Okay.
But Anne's last name escapes me. She runs the Bay Area West Point Society. Her husband, who is, I think, 60.
Oh, yeah. Ed
62.
knows her. I forget her name as well.
Is that Nina?
Oh, that's who I was thinking of, Nina. Yeah,
Nina. That's a totally blew off.
Yeah.
She's wonderful. She's wonderful.
Mm-hmm. She is. Everybody knows her.
Everybody knows Nina.
Is she moving to Reno?
No, she gave me a heads up of somebody that was coming out of the Bay Area that was moving here.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay.
Like a 03.
Hey, Bill,
or something like that.
is Zach Mancini back in town? I saw a picture
yeah,
of
Zach is. I was going to mention Zach. Zach is looking. He's back in town.
He is. Okay.
He's trying to get a GS job because he wants to sort of be associated with the military and do something with his West Point background. So he's looking. I sort of led him over to the Bureau of Land Management (BLM) and tried to help him out a little bit there. He's applying. He's looking at felony. He'd like to stay in this area. That's hard to do.
Yeah, good guy.
I took him skiing a couple weeks ago. He and his brother.
Incidentally, the Association of Graduates now has a career services department made up of 3 people. But they've been quite successful in placing people.
Yep.
Anyway, they set it up as a way to reach younger grads. And they succeeded in that. But they're also making about $200,000 a year off of fees.
Really? For placement?
From prospective employers and having recruiting seminars.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I interviewed, I know his name. I remember I did an interview last year for our Founders Day from that department. What was his name? Steve. And I pushed it up. And
what was Zach's major? Do you remember, Bill?
I know Zach pretty well. I've talked about Steve. It was a general major, I think. He's a gymnast.
He was out here for Founders Day, wasn't he?
He's still here. Yeah. He lives here now.
Yeah, he lived here, then moved for a job, and then came back.
Yeah.
He's managed. Go ahead.
He had helped me out with one of the career fairs that we did, and he was a big participant, and it was nice to get the Kennedys talking to somebody younger.
He's gone to our Founders Days. He signed up and goes. Trying to think, what was that?
I'm back.
Jerry's back.
Don't know how long. I think my ISP is acting up.
Who's your ISP?
Charter.
Who?
Charter. Spectrum.
Charter. Yeah, they should be doing fine. They shouldn't.
Well, I went through the normal drill up.
Any other comments as we close up here? Anything?
No,
Brad, no comments?
No.
Okay.
I'm learning a lot about West Point again. 2 girls. Both of my daughters. It's interesting to watch. Joanna is doing really well at diving, extremely well. and it's fun to watch it. They were down at Penn, not Penn. It's not Penn. Is it Penn? Yeah, Penn.
Donation gave me a number. So here's what she said.
I got to mute.
So somebody's got something going on in the background.
Oh, there you go, Brad. So she did really well. She's got a new dog. She went back for 2 weeks in Dove during Christmas break. They had almost like 30 days off at Christmas because they didn't give them any breaks last semester, and they put them all together and gave them a long break. And they had a couple things they had to do. Both my girls did 2 COVID tests going back to West Point. They did a lab test and they did a quick test. They did the lab test here. No, they did 3 actually, and a quick test the day before, the day of when they flew back. And then when they got to West Point, they did another test. So they did 3 tests. Interesting things. They call it the gulag. When a cadet gets sick with COVID, they send them down to the old MP barracks. They call it the gulag for 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
Some funny things. But Joanna got to go her first off post. I mean, Joanna didn't leave. She went back there and she didn't leave till Christmas. So like Oakcore. And then she got off once this year to go to Penn to dive. And then she spent 2 weeks diving. And I tell you what, it's been a really good experience. She seems to be doing well. She's in B1. One negative, though, that surprised me. Last week or week and a half ago, B1 plebes had to get up on Sunday morning and do PT at 5:30 because they're bad. I've just never seen that. My whole time at West Point, I remember.
Because they were what?
They were bad plebes, B1. So it's hard to, it's funny. Things are different, but they're not different.
Yeah. I was trying to see any shots. I didn't see a lot of shots online. They had to have gotten pummeled by snow with those storms that rolled.
Yeah, they did. They enjoyed it. I think they had a big snowball fight. And then 500th night was really nice. They all liked 500th night.
Yeah.
I shouldn't tell anybody, but Joanna's firstie boyfriend called Karen and I. So I guess what that meant. Nothing's announced yet, but I told her not to date.
No.
He's on regimental staff, and I think he's 8th in the class.
Yeah, wow.
So, Medical Services Corps, medevac pilot. So nice, safe job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's about it. So we're enjoying it. We really miss not going back and seeing them. I have 3 trips I canceled.
Am I unmuted now?
Yep, you're unmuted.
Yes, you are, Jerry.
You had me muted for a minute there somehow or another. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll learn to use this thing one of these days.
So anyway, it's good. All's good. They seem to do well.
Excellent.
Yeah. One thing, Ann, the boys' state link, I can put that up, and the girls' state link. I think they're tentatively going to have it. I'm a really big supporter of boys' state. My son went in California, which is hard, but here it's easy to get into.
Much easier.
Let me put the link up.
You're on mute, Ann.
Sorry. Thank you.
Let me put this link up for everybody. If anybody knows anybody who's interested in going to the academies, plus they learn so much about government, local government. I was a city councilman, and I was a big supporter of Boyd State in California and Girls State, of course. But in Nevada, unlike California, only one boy gets to go per high school. Here, they'll allow 2 or 3. So it's a good deal, and you learn a lot about government.
And it gives them big points on their admissions.
It is.
It's
West
one of
Point
the
really
bigger items that they can do that really isn't recognized.
My daughter really enjoyed Girls State, Joanna, and they do it up at Lake Tahoe, Girls State. I'll put those links in here. By the way, the text I'm putting the links in.
Attaboy State.
I think I could put those on our homepage too, because it's really good. It's a good kids go to those too. Really interesting kids. So here's the Girls State Nevada, and they do get pretty good points, don't they?
They do.
I know California, it's really hard to get into. It's really hard. It's only one, like I said, one per high school, and they have to be selected. Usually, they come out of leadership. So there's the 2 links.
Anybody else? Comments? Issues they want to raise? Larry, how are you doing?
He's muted. Unmute yourself. I can't. I can ask him to unmute. I just asked him to unmute.
Larry doesn't seem to be on here anymore.
No, he's on there. Now he's back.
I
Oh, there
got
he
muted when you called.
No.
I was trying to tell Bill that you were trying to get him.
Yeah, sorry about that, Jerry.
Yeah, well, I don't know what happened. I think it was my SP because I went through the drill of, unplugging it and recycling it. Now things seem to be working.
Yeah. I pay for some advanced Comcast or internet.
Yep.
They even will reduce my bandwidth at times if they need to. You can buy a little thing you stick in the wall that resets your IP address and will sort of defeat it. So they monitor your band usage. You've been watching a lot of YouTube?
Anything
Don't
for
do
the
YouTube. Don't do YouTube.
anything from the secretary's side of it before we close up, Larry?
No, I don't have anything else.
Okay. Well, I'd say everybody stay healthy. Those who seem to have been able to get their vaccines continue on. Those of us who can't, we'll just wait it out and eventually we'll get there.
Yeah, Barbara Ann and I got our second one day before yesterday.
Congratulations.
Excellent.
Tim, you might be able to get one early because of your wife.
Yeah, she's on the tier 3 because she's in the admin faculty side of it, not the teaching faculty. So she's going to be eligible this week or next because they just about finished everybody else off.
Tim, also the VA. I got mine at the VA, and they are doing 65 and older.
Yeah.
So
I'm not 65 yet.
Well, keep an eye. You may as well sign up with them because they may open up before the county does.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, I'll do it. That's one of the few times I'm young. It'll work.
Have you gotten to VA yet, Tim?
Yeah, we have it.
You need to do it. Just get your little card.
Yeah, I probably should.
Just go in there, turn the right, and sign in. You should be able. You'll do it. I know. Duke.
Yeah,
I went there as a cadet when I had an emergency appendectomy years ago.
Yeah,
Youngest person in the hospital by 35 years.
I gotta go. I apologize.
See it.
No problem. And I do too. It's been good to talk to everybody. Talk to you again on May 2nd. I'll send that thing to AOG for the virtual on the 16th, and we will see how that rolls out. Okay? Y'all good.
Thank you.
Good meeting.
Bye now.
Yeah.
Bye.
See you later. 4. There's
We're the Army and proud of our name. We're the Army and proudly proclaim. First to fight for the right and to build the nation's might. And the Army goes rolling along. Proud of all we have done, fighting till the battle's won. And the Army goes rolling along. And it's